In this second video, I'm just going to introduce you to SPSS and the different window and the different menus and all of the different tools that you can find within this statistical package. For the purposes of what we're going to be doing in the analysis for this level 5 course, we're only going to be using a very small number of the different tools and techniques in statistical analysis in SPSS. It is a very powerful statistical software package, and some of the time I think it's very easy to feel a little bit overwhelmed, and you can often spend quite a lot of time looking for the particular method or technique. So just want to spend a little bit of time just looking at the different menus. So some of these are going to be intuitive, some less so. The file menu, if I just look at the drop down box there, not surprisingly, that just gives you the options to save your data. One thing that will become transparent as we go and look at the analysis, when you run SPSS, there are actually 3 windows open up at the same time. This is the data editor. There's also an output window and a syntax window. We'll be looking at the output window when we actually do some analysis. The edit lets you edit your data set, but we're not going to be using any of the functions there. The view just gives you some options about how you view the windows. That's not going to be important. Data is also looking at different ways of changing the actual data that you have. We're not going to be using any of these particular tools. The only one that I really ever use as a for survey analysis is quite often being able to select cases is quite important, so that you can just carry out an analysis on a particular subset of cases. But we're not actually going to be doing that this time. We are going to be doing some transformations. So transformations allow you to change your variables, and we are going to be looking at recoding, and we're particularly going to be looking at recoding into a different variable. So you are going to be using transformation. And obviously you're going to be using analyze, because this is where all the statistical techniques are. As you can see, there's a lot of choice here, but all we're going to be doing is we're going to be using 2 straightforward techniques under descriptive statistics, that's frequencies and cost tabulations. So you'll find those at the top. There is a graphs function for SPSS, but this doesn't tend to be used very much. The graphs builder, the charts builder, it's okay for analysis, but it's not great for reports. I recommend that if you want to graph any of your analysis, that you actually take your results and you use Excel, and we can look at that next week. Utilities and extensions, you don't have to worry about that. The Windows tab is quite useful because it lets you move between the different windows. I've already had SPSS open for a while, so I've already got these different windows here. So at the moment, we're on the student survey. There's a syntax window, which we don't really have to worry about. That actually shows you the coding that SPSS is writing to actually do the statistical analysis that you want to do. And the output is the actual output, and that is quite an important window. But that will become more obvious once we actually start doing some of the analysis.